Hello Adam, I was going to ask you 5 short questions about the horror genre. So what type of horror movie do you typically enjoy the most? Would you say supernatural or psychological?
I personally think psychological is my favourite because it's more based around realism rather than the supernatural. I think you can sort of get more scared by realism rather than made up.
Okay, thank you. So what makes a horror film scarier to you? Would you say it's like suspense building or unexpected twists or jump scares?
I would say a mix between suspense and then the release of a jump scare can really, encapsulate someone's fear.
Yeah.
Because you build up that tension and just release it all in one. It's very scary.
Okay, thank you. So what's the most important factor for you in a horror trailer? Would you say it's the atmosphere, or the characters, or the soundtrack?
I think the soundtrack's very important. You want to have a good atmospheric soundtrack, and I think you want good characters as well, so you can really get to know them before you actually watch the film and get invested in the film itself.
Okay. So how do you feel about horror films that use and implement other genres, such as like horror comedy or horror thriller?
I think they can be used. Horror comedies, I find, are a bit of an issue sometimes because they don't become that scary and they sort of lose that element of fear you have in them because you have that comedic release. But horror thrillers are very good because they can build up a lot of tension as well.
Right, nice. And finally, what turns you away from a horror movie? So any common tropes or cliches that you dislike?
I'm not a fan of the constant sort of final girl screaming, sort of whenever the girl sees the villain they always scream sort of trope, or the occasional, they constantly survive throughout the film through the trials and tribulations they have. You sometimes want a bit of realism in the films.
Yeah. Thank you, Adam.